kind of think you do this on purpose, Susan, that you only hire handsome, good-looking people in our office, because if you look at our roster, we have lots of handsome, good-looking people, and no exception today, ladies and gentlemen. Here, underneath the spotlight, we have the very most handsome fella, Mr. Josh Delgadillo.
Delgadillo. But hey, close enough.
I'm working on my Espanol, but that's okay, because we're going to speak lots of words today and make lots of noises with our face today. We're going to talk to Josh. But first, hi, Susan. How are you?
Hi, John Butler. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm good.
I'm waiting for my Starbucks to cool down. It's a little hot.
It is. It's
Gotta
way
get it
too
iced.
hot.
It's a little
I
hot.
took my lid off, kind of stirred it around. I was like, Okay, but I'm so glad you butchered his name. I apologize for that.
It's okay.
But I butchered it for a year. And then I'm like,
hard
you
to
know
say.
what? I am committed to saying this person's name because I respect him.
Delgadillo.
There you go.
Delgadillo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Or
Yep.
Josh D.
There
Yeah.
you go. Or Josh
What up?
Dell. Dell's
Dell.
fine.
Yeah. Okay, so guess who taught me it?
Who?
Nash.
Really?
I was like, okay, son, how do I
How
say
would
his
Nash
name?
know?
Because they were on the team together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For a
Okay, that
minute.
makes
in
sense.
time. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
A long time ago.
Seems like
Good
it now.
times. Good times.
Man, good times indeed. And speaking of good times, real estate is a good time, and especially when you're here at the Signature Real Estate office located off of Los Alamos and
He does
Whitewood.
shameless
Yes.
plugs.
shameless plug.
Hey,
Um,
that's okay.
But what's so fascinating about this office is that we do have a lot of good-looking people that are successful in this business, and maybe that goes hand in hand. I don't know.
I don't know. They just seem to walk in the front door. I swear it's not a prerequisite.
Okay.
I mean, because I'm here.
You just, well, you're very easy on the eyes, Susan.
Oh, I pay extra.
I get bribes. But, you know, what I love about this office is we have so many different walks of life that come through this office. And that's what the show's all about, is kind of pulling back the curtain on your backstory and seeing how you got into this business, what you're doing here, where you want to go. And so we'll start with that, man. How did you get into real estate?
Wow. A little bit of James Shelby, a little bit of hating the job I was at.
It's a good combo.
Yeah,
I think that's his story, actually, too.
You know, before this, I was a supervisor for SoCal Gas, the utility company, and I was there 5 years. Started as a meter reader, worked my way up into supervision. Driving to LA sucks.
Every single day.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
every day. I had to be at the office by 6:30, so I had to leave my house by 4
No way.
in the morning, and then I got off at 3:34, and I'm driving the 91 the whole way. So
that's easily a 12-hour day.
Oh, easily. And that's Monday through Friday. You only get paid for 40 hours. I mean, I got paid decent enough,
Yeah.
but the quality of life was not there.
Makes you miserable when you have to
Oh,
commute.
totally miserable. And before that, I did sales for a long time. I've sold cars, TVs, you name it, I probably sold it.
I would buy something from you.
Would you?
Oh, yeah.
He's got
Wanna
that
buy a
face,
house?
doesn't he?
He does. And the voice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could see you being like a game show host. I don't know if it's the jacket or
It's probably the jacker. right
yeah,
there.
and the big smile, you know, just like
Yeah.
ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
Yeah, I know. One of the happiest people.
I
here
could
in
do
the
a
office.
game show. That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe that'll be the next thing.
You have a game show in your open houses, and then people spin stuff.
Oh.
And you stand
That's-
outside with a PA system and a microphone and be like, ladies and gentlemen, come on into the open house. Well, there you go.
That'll bring a lot of people.
$1 million idea right there.
Right?
Give me royalties.
Yeah, so after being with the gas company, you know, just working forever. I have 3 kids. I just had a daughter, like, at the time when I was at the gas company, she was just born. I barely saw her. On the weekends, I felt like a zombie,
Yeah.
you know, just
Oh.
not there really, and then back at it Monday through Friday. So I decided to just take the leap of faith and just do it. I know I could do sales. It's just learning the product and the clientele, all that stuff, and
Learning the ropes.
learning the ropes basically. But I know how to talk to people, so
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I could do that.
Mhm.
At least I could do that,
Mhm.
and I just went for it. Came here. I actually started here with a different team. So and then now I work with James Shelby, my brother-in-law. So
Okay, so
works.
there is a
Yeah.
family connection there.
yes,
Okay, and he's married to your sister?
correct.
Okay, got
Yes,
it, got it.
yes, yes.
Very cool. So a family ordeal, as they say.
Yes, and you know, I knew James before, obviously, you know, before real estate, and we both just got tired of the job, the 9 to 5, same thing always. It's nice to have freedom.
Yeah.
But be able to have no cap also.
Yeah. And, so that's an interesting combo, right? Because that's what I think attracts a lot of people to real estate.
Right.
And they go, oh my gosh, this can be so easy. I got my own schedule. I don't
Right.
have to do anything. And the money just pours on in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my gosh, this is a lot harder than it looks. But where I think your advantage is that with James Shelby, everybody knows James for his work ethic.
Right.
And he's a hardcore cold caller and one of the most successful agents in this office and in the whole entire area. So to be linked up with him, man, that's a huge advantage. And not to take anything away from yours, but I mean, if he was,
the building blocks were there to
Yeah,
help
that's
me and
huge.
give me the structure to go forward. And doing so has been great. I mean,
I just think it's fun to do something with someone else.
yes.
Because knowing him from the first time, and he was on David Serpa's team, and so that was a well-oiled machine of expertise and learning and teaching and training and mentoring, and then making the switch. I just think that watching him grow as the real estate agent that he is has been really, really fun, because you are an expert.
Thank you.
And you already were an expert with people, especially based on the person that you chose to marry.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I get this all the
I
time.
might say that people are pretty. And I'll say it, okay, Taylor Loop, Brian Decker, this group of kids. But all I can say is when him and Jim Shelby take their wives out somewhere, if you think not every single person is looking and going, boom, chicka, bow, wow, they are. They are such a beautiful couple with beautiful children. There's some good genes going on there.
Thank you.
Good genes going on there.
Yeah, I get the, how did that happen?
Yeah.
That is not true. Who says that to you?
It's just some friends joking around, like in the gas company.
Wait, so do you fall into the same category that I'm in, where it's he must have a great personality?
Yes.
I'm refraining from all comments right now.
Yeah. Good. That shows maturity at 58 years
but
old.
I did say I was refraining from it, so does it count?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's progress, Susan. I'm proud of you. Because usually you go up to that line and you'd snort it.
Oh my gosh. The line is I walk up to the line and I don't snort it.
Oh,
It's
don't
not
snort
that
it.
I
Don't snort.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of your many Susanisms that you found out about.
Yes.
So how long ago did this happen? This was about.
Let's see. So this is the start of my 3rd year in real estate. I started here basically with James. It was January 14th, 2 years ago. So.
Okay, so 2018, 17, 18?
18. Yeah.
Okay.
I came here in 17 when I was with Serpa. That was a whole learning process and, just wrapping my head around everything. And then when I made the switch, that's when I feel I turned the switch on and went full force.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool, man. And so are you in that same vein of James Shelby, where are you a cold caller, or do you have like your own niche? Like, what's your thing?
So I'll cold call. I don't mind it. In fact, I've gotten a little better at it, which is nice because nobody likes cold calling. Let's be real. But I like to be in front of people. I like to door knock. I like to door knock because if I have you in front of me, I feel my chances go way up of converting as opposed to being on the phone, because I'm very non-threatening looking, and when I talk to people, I could just relate with them, talk with them, kind of get on that same level and build that rapport, do that kind of thing.
That's awesome. It's your movie star voice.
He does have. It's like this.
Low,
like
deep. Go ahead.
Like a Jimmy Stewart. From like the 30s or 40s. Like I could see him like an old school, like with the old like fashion and the trench coat and like, you listen here, copper.
I was totally born in the wrong era. I would totally love to live back then.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
See you part of the Hollywood elite or something like that.
Oh, yeah. You can just tell by his socks on a daily basis or lack of.
Oh, is he a sock guy?
Yeah, I got ramen socks on today.
Rum socks?
Ramen.
Ramen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like top ramen? Oh, hey now. Okay.
That's right.
Christmas present from the kid.
Hey.
Yep. Socks are important. You're a man of style.
See, I'm the only style I have is just red ties, and I literally have red ties on my socks.
Hey, there you go.
Are they on your skivvies too?
No, but I want to make my own brand of underwear.
Oh.
and then so the red tie flaps down.
No.
How funny would that be? Yeah? You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Red tie boxers. Make sure
Sign
you
me
get
up for a prototype.
Yeah.
Gosh, that is
We got big ties, little
hysterical.
ties, medium ties,
Oh, no.
Clip-on?
supersized ties.
With clip-ons. Oh, that's awesome.
Shameless marketing and promotion. ladies and
Oh.
gentlemen.
I'm never gonna think about a red tie the same.
Hey.
It's much better now.
Hey.
It's much better
There we
now.
go.
Right?
So, did you grow up in this area?
I grew up in San Diego,
Okay.
and I moved here in '97.
Okay, so you've been here for a while.
I've
You've
been here
seen
for a
the
minute,
whole
yeah.
progress of things.
I graduated in Temecula from Temecula Valley,
Oh, what year?
'01.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so
Just a baby.
Oh,
just a baby. I feel not like a baby though.
That's
I look
welcome to real estate.
Yes, you look like one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I may look like one, but don't feel like one.
Yeah.
That's
feel like
great.
you're like 60 or 70, huh?
Oh,
No.
totally.
Yeah. Real
No.
estate kicks your butt, man.
It does.
It does, but you know what? It's also very rewarding. So
Yeah.
It's great provision for your family, and when you have the hot wife that he does, you want to go do stuff with her. It
Yeah.
affords the beauty of that.
That's good.
we do like to do things. Go travel.
And take
So-
pictures of it.
Do you lean more on the buyer side of things or the listing side of things?
Um,
or are you kind of 50-50?
so for the first 2 years, I did lead more on the buyer side.
Mhm.
I am trying to transition more to the listing side, and just focus more on just holding the inventory.
Mhm.
You know, being the employer instead of the employee.
I like that. That's a good way of
so-
saying that.
I want to focus on that, but I have no problem with buyers. I feel like that's the easiest thing to do is work with buyers. Listings are a little different for me. I have my actual first listing appointment by myself tomorrow, so I'm excited.
Ooh, congratulations,
Thank
man.
you, thank you. So I'm very excited with that, and you know the year's starting off pretty good.
And how did that meeting come about?
The
Your appointment?
it was an expired call. I was
Nice.
calling expireds, and I was actually dialing old expireds, and sometimes they just don't relist it. And then I got a hold of the lady, and I just followed up with her until they either tell me to pound sand or they're gonna sign.
Well, so for those who are in the general public that don't live this lifestyle of cold calling and things like that, calling expireds is like going into a lion's cage and the lion's pissed because the previous trainer whipped him or something or did something wrong, and so they're already angry.
Most of the time.
Most of the time they're
Yep.
not happy, and then also when a house expires on the MLS, they get flooded with calls.
Oh yeah, I get all the time. You're the 8th person to call
Oh,
me
yeah.
today, and it's barely early in the morning. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
those aren't the ones you're excited to get. You have to dial
Yeah.
those ones. You have to get 100 no's to get that yes. And you know, it's all numbers.
So you're a numbers guy, kind
Yeah.
of go by the process of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very analytical when it comes to that stuff. I know if you don't do it, you're not going to get it.
So, I mean, it takes a special kind of person to cold call because I'm definitely not of the cold call style, and I always make that very obvious to people because I admire people that can do it because I
Right.
personally can't. But Beef Wellington has a joke. He goes, sometimes I wake up with way too much confidence, and so I think I'll cold call today. You know? And he goes, how about this for a change? You call for sale by owners, and you hang up on them for a change. Change it up. I'm like, that's a good one. I like that. So,
So
if you have-
is 100 really your number? 100 no's and you get a yes?
Well, I usually go through because I get to work off Red X, the dialer, and I'm usually going through 200-300 calls while I'm on the dialer. So
Yeah.
sometimes I get nothing,
Yeah.
and sometimes I get a whole bunch.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's all just the numbers thing, but you do have to get all those no's to get that yes, or else we're just glorified order takers.
Yeah.
That's not what we are.
Yeah.
We're direct sales people. That's
Yep.
what we do.
got to go out there and get it.
Yep.
Huh? Do you do many open houses?
I do open houses,
I
and
can see you being good at that.
yeah, I like open houses.
Mhm.
I actually have a pretty good track record with open houses of double ending or getting clients and stuff
awesome.
like that. So I like them. Sometimes they're really slow, but hey, not everyone could be good.
Well, it's like fishing, right?
Yes.
So sometimes you go out and you catch a lot of fish, and sometimes you don't catch any fish.
Well,
So
I
it's
play
kinda like open
golf, so
houses.
I just look at it like golf. It's one of the most frustrating sports in the world that I absolutely love. But
Yeah,
hey, sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm not.
that's awesome. Susan, do you have a question?
I have lots of questions.
I know. I can see it like brimming out of you. Like,
Okay, so I have all the stupid questions. Like
hey, I
he's
love
all
those
nice and
questions.
stuff, but so where were you born?
I was born in San Diego at the Balboa Naval Hospital.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
That's crazy. Okay, so how did you meet your wife?
I actually knew my wife through my best friend for a while, and through passing when we were like young. And then we just reconnected about 10, 11 years ago, and that's when it came about.
So when your eyes met, it was like, oh.
Well, when my eyes met, it was like, oh. Hers just went.
right over the top.
Yeah,
They did not.
exactly.
They did
Until I
not.
was like, hey, I'm over here.
So
But
did you
it
have
all
to-
worked out.
So I always loved the story of the pursuit. So how did you approach her? She approached you, or you're stuck in an
It was
elevator
kind of
together?
it was kind of like we approached each other, but I definitely was stalking.
Intentional.
hunting.
You're intentional. Yeah.
Prospecting.
You know, yes, exactly. Going to where the clients are.
Trying to get your 100 no's to get that yes. Got it.
Where were you? Do you remember?
We were actually at a party at my best friend's house. He invited her and everybody else, you know, all our
Whoa.
friends, and that's where it first started. So, hey.
You know what's cute is he still has a bright smile when he's talking about her.
Oh,
You talk to most married
I
men,
even
they're
have
like-
a bright smile when he talks about it.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
You're still in love. It's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so how did you ask her to marry you?
It was actually a really cheesy Christmas Day type thing.
Uh-huh.
Our first real Christmas together. You know, like the whole fake huge box type thing. And of course, I had to go ask her dad first because, you know, that's the kind of
I
guy I
love
am.
that.
Got permission from dad first and then did it. And she said yes, thank God.
Did you get
'Cause
on
it
one
would've-
knee?
Of course.
Okay, so was the ring like in the box?
It was in the box, and as soon as she opened it, she like dropped it, you know, because she was shocked, and
Oh.
got it out, got on the knee.
Wait, so you didn't do the 20 boxes thing, like the,
no,
the
but
Russian
that would have
doll
been
thing?
that would have been great,
Yeah.
but that would have been way too long to do.
Yeah. I love you, but I'm not gonna put down the gender.
Right?
Yeah.
I should have just used the Russian dolls.
Keep going. Keep going.
It's almost there.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many babies do you have and how old are they?
We have 3. I have an 11-year-old boy, an 8-year-old boy, and a 4-year-old girl,
Oh.
princess.
What's
Oh,
her
so
name?
you got the girl, and that's good.
Yes, I finally got the girl. Talon, Brayden, and Raylyn.
Oh, see, cool names.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're cool. What's your favorite football team?
San Diego Chargers. Don't scrutinize me for that. I know I'm gonna get a lot of slack for that, but
Call them San Diego?
I call them San Diego Chargers. They'll always be San Diego Chargers to me. I was born and raised in San Diego. That was the only team I watched.
Were you devastated when they?
Oh, I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated them for so long. I even sent the Spanos hate mails. So
You did? That's
like emails to
Yeah.
their, you know, like, why did you move? I can't believe you. I mean, I remember watching the Chargers in the Super Bowl when they played the 49ers and got their butts whooped. I mean, I had my hat on, my shirt on, my mug.
I still have that
everything.
shirt.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
I wish I still had the hat. It would have been cool because the only time I ever seen the Chargers go to the Super Bowl, and it might be the last time I see that happen.
You heard it here first, folks.
Okay, favorite color.
Red.
Okay,
Red's
favorite
my-
hobby with the kids.
Favorite hobby with the kids? That's a good question. I honestly love just hanging outside with them and just playing whatever they want to play. Like, we play basketball. With my daughter, we do a lot of like coloring.
Oh, I love
drawing.
coloring. Do you trace the outside line and then do light on the inside?
Of course. Isn't that the only way to color?
I
That's
think
how my mom
so.
taught me.
Oh, she taught you the right way.
Yeah, you trace the outside with the crayon and then you lightly color in the inside and it makes it pop.
Do you color like that, John Butler?
No.
I'm sorry.
And I'm 38 years old, just now learning that that's the proper way to color.
That's the
Oh.
proper way to color.
Yeah, I'm that dork that goes inside.
And
Yeah.
then it goes out the line a little bit?
I literally have a
Ooh.
kindergarten report card that says John does not appreciate his fine motor skills and needs to work on them, and he doesn't like cutting, coloring in the lines, that kind of thing.
Well, you've been outside the lines ever since. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay. Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Where do I want to be in 5 years?
Besides here.
Well, obviously here.
Off of Whitewood in Los Alamos.
Signature Real Estate Group.
0207112.
Honestly, I just want to continue my business. I want to keep it growing. Obviously, I want to do more business each and every year. But I want to do just enough to where we live a comfortable life. I don't want to overextend, or I don't want to get too lazy either. I still want a comfortable life for my family, but I don't have to have the multi-million dollars. So I would be just comfortable right around, the 250, 500, right around there. I'm good with that. So in 5 years, that's where I want to be.
I love that answer because it's so hard as a mom of boys and 170 people to watch that goal-driven mentality of that's never enough. And then you see the burnout and you see the self-destruction. And I always think it's wise to be able to know, wait, this is my happiness threshold.
Right.
And I will be good when I get here. And you have to remember that when you get there, that was your goal.
Right.
And then live your family and travel and love and have that joy so that you don't miss the most important part of life, which is your family.
Right.
And
100%.
building that. So, God, I'm so happy. I'm happy to hear that.
You're a very balanced person. I mean, you come across that way. You're very stable, balanced. That's a good thing. Because as she was just saying, like, this business can be consuming. And so you'll see people get into it and they get that little taste of either the popularity or the fame or the money of it. It's all kind of wrapped in together, right? And then they just become obsessed, and then you'll see them just burn out on their families. And
the little time I've been in the industry, I can name, many that I've seen it happen to. And it's very unfortunate. And, I did sales for a long time before, and sales is a job where you could get burned out easily, very easily. It's a grind. And if you don't have that balance, then you will burn yourself out. And then when you burn yourself out, you're not making any money. Then that's when all the problems happen. Forget that.
Spirals.
Yeah, just downhill from there.
Well, and remembering to contribute too, because there's people who walk by, and when I see them, it's just like, yay! You're one of those people. You're my people. Because I know that when he walks by, it's going to have that smile, and I know that there's just pure joy. You know what I mean? And no matter what, he can solve a problem by himself, which is awesome for me, but he's happy when he's doing it.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's what you're like at home. I pretend that anyway.
For the most part, yeah.
Safe answer.
I pretend you got it all, just so you know. Oh, for a minute, I thought I wasn't going to see you for a little while, and then I was really glad when you came.
Yeah, I was happy to come back too.
Yeah.
It was a sad day when I had left here.
Yeah.
And coming back was the best decision.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this? Because I don't know the story.
Well, everybody has their journey, I think.
Sure.
And the one thing I'm an advocate for is that everybody is entitled that.
Right.
Without judgment, without condemnation, without ridicule, but with a positive move in direction and support for that person as they go through the journey.
Right.
And so he's one of my people that I was watching the journey, and I'm in love with this kid, right? And you're watching it, and you're seeing the growth and the escalation and the learning, and then the decision was made to go another direction with the team that he was on. And it was one of those, it was like, ooh, that's going to leave a mark. But I know that he's going to be fine because of who he is.
Yeah.
I like we talked before, it's like a quilt, it's a patch on that quilt. And it was a learning experience for me. Whether it was good or bad, it was both. But a learning experience nonetheless that got me to where I am now. Everything we do just builds us for the future. Always.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I often believe that it's the hard times and the darker times, the not so good times that really make you shine.
Right, because everybody could sell when it's a hot market.
Yeah.
You put a listing on, a couple years ago, you put a listing on, it was gone. But it's when you have to buckle down, you grind, or you got those clients that you just want to pull your hair out.
Wait, what? Why do you guys say that? Okay, keep going.
You got a hat on. We don't know what's going on over there.
Yeah, definitely. All right, keep going.
That makes you want to just hang yourself with your tie.
All right.
I would say in the part though, the thing that was really cool is just as a mom or someone who admires people's journeys, the funnest part was I think that what happened was growth in the identity of the value of yourself.
Right.
And you came back knowing exactly who you were, what you were going to do, and how it was going to be done. And that I was really proud of, and I am proud of.
Oh, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
We
the
should-
good stuff.
We should call that the prodigal agent.
Coming
Give
back.
me my inheritance. I'm leaving. Okay. And then-
He
I'm
didn't-
back.
He didn't.
Hey,
He
can I come
didn't.
back?
He didn't leave in a negative way in any way, shape, or form.
No,
It was just a growing.
you know, that's one thing
Spur.
I've always learned.
Yeah.
You never burn bridges because
Yeah.
you never know when you're gonna have to cross that one again.
Yep.
Seriously, I learned that in the gas company because they like to torch bridges there.
Yeah.
You know, when they leave departments, and
Yeah.
it was bad.
Yeah, that's just not a good way to operate.
That's not a good model at all.
No.
No, even to this day, when people text me to quit, I'm like, oh no, we're having coffee tomorrow, and you're hugging me and saying goodbye.
Yeah.
That's not how you do it.
Right.
Let me teach you how this is done. It's called being a human being.
Well, and I've seen you go through that a couple different times, and you are very gracious. But when you're on the other side of it, it is scary. Because even I had to leave for a little bit. And, you know, but you're always so gracious in the way that you operate, Susan. And so I think that is a huge testament to your character. And hopefully that's a ripple effect to everybody that goes. But when they come back, then they really see the love and grace.
If they're qualified to come back.
If they don't disqualify themselves.
Yeah.
Some people do disqualify themselves, and that's okay too.
Yeah.
That's okay too.
It's all right.
But I've seen it. People come back all the time.
Yeah.
They do. We have a fun office.
We have a great office.
We really do.
We do.
And all you snappy dressers walking around. Like, oh, there he is, snappy
So
Well,
do you and
dresser.
James go shopping together?
Sometimes, actually,
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Where do you find these things? Like,
H&M.
is it? Okay.
Oh.
H&M, Express.
'Cause he wears some
Yeah.
wild ones.
He's got some cool stuff, definitely. You know, with his build, it's a little easier to find a lot more different fabrics and suits. You know, I had to shop in the Junior Miss. It's a little tougher, you know.
Hey, the prices are better. Right?
This is true.
I loved when I was in the junior sizes. I'm just saying.
No, you know, just wherever you find something, you can find some good bargains too at like nice higher end thrift stores.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised.
I just want you to walk in one day dressed in a Josh or James suit.
With the red tie, though?
Yes.
Do it. You could totally pull that off with a red tie.
I should. I
What store is it?
H&M.
H&M. And you know what's
H&M.
great too is it's not expensive. That's the best part about it is you could
Well,
go in and just
See, you
Pick
don't know
out-
my backstory. I'm from Bakersfield. So what I would do is I would get the suit, I would show up for the photo op, and then I would return it.
keep the tags on.
Yeah,
tuck it in.
Bakersfield thing to do.
Sometimes I think style is when you go pick out a bunch of things that don't match and then you put it on.
Yeah, I do that sometimes, and I just hope for the best.
And it works.
And it works.
It totally works.
I do get the okay from the wife first before I step out of the house.
And she
smart
has
man.
got style.
I bet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, today I didn't. I was like, you know what? I'm just doing it.
You did it well.
Thanks.
You do
Living-
it well
living
every day.
boldly. So I have an interesting question for you.
Yeah.
Not to turn too dark or morbid, but we had a loss in our family today, and it was my wife's grandfather, and he was 92 years old. And so on these kind of days, I always feel somber, and you kind of just reflect on life a little bit. So you're 36 now.
Yes.
So if you live to be another 50 years, so you'd be 86 years old, and you're on your last moments there, and you're overlooking your life, what does that story look like, and what's the legacy that you want to leave behind there?
Well, the legacy I want to leave is the legacy for my kids, obviously. You know, I got to leave them something, got to show them the way to do things. Because I look at this generation of kids, and my parents probably felt the same way about me. And
Every generation does,
Every
right? Yeah,
generation
yeah.
does. And, you know, I would just want to set a good example, show them that hard work does pay off. And I think that my story is one of a lot of ups and downs and a lot of things, you know, dark and light, but it wouldn't be my life without all that stuff. So I can't take it back. I can only move forward, and you can't change the past, just what you can change in the future. And if I'm on my deathbed even now, I'd be happy with what happened.
That's awesome.
Oh, that'd be so sad.
That
I'm
would
so
be.
sorry, John. I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Dude, 92?
That's a
Yeah, that's a
good,
good
that's a
full life.
great
That's a
age.
good
Yeah.
life.
And he was a real estate agent back in Orange County during the 70s, I believe.
Where does he live now? I mean, not live
He
now.
lives in heaven now. But,
Okay. That's a bad question. No thought.
he was down here in Temecula.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
And then unfortunately he fell and hit his head. And then, you
Oh,
know, when you
no.
fall at that age,
Yeah.
it's just it's hard to
Yeah.
come back from. But like I said, 92 years old, wonderful,
That's
incredible
a
life.
great life.
Yeah.
92.
Wonderful kids, you know, great grandkids, all that kind of stuff. So definitely a full life. But, you know, on these kind of days, you stop and think about life.
Right.
And, you know, where am I going? What direction am I doing? And, you know, so it's good to have these moments. And I think that's why God allows that.
Yeah.
So it's an important thing. And so that's why I just wanted to ask you that question.
Yeah,
So that way
definitely.
you can always be calibrated in your
Right.
true north.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's true. It's the most valuable thing, and we lose sight.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Well,
just saying that today.
Well,
I'm
in this
back on
business,
track right now.
it can get very easy to be distracted of, oh, I got
Oh,
this
man.
inspection, this appointment, this, and so we get lost in all the minutia of the
Right.
tasks. But there is this overarching theme that we always need to be aware of in our life, right?
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I'm just so blessed and honored to meet you in depth today. We always joke around in
Right.
the office and stuff like that. I didn't even know you were going to be on the show. But and then when you came walking down, I'm like, oh, this is going to be awesome.
Well, I'm glad I'm on the show.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I love it here. I'm glad I'm on the show. I love doing stuff like this. And if I could just tell anybody out there that wants to be productive, come to Signature.
Wait, where is Signature?
It's off Los Alamos in Murrieta, right across from the In-N-Out.
You got In-N-Out, Starbucks, Taco Bell.
Yeah, what more do you need? You got food, work, there's ice cream next door.
Good clothes.
You will gain weight working here. Right, Susan?
Oh, it's so wrong on so many levels.
Man, that's awesome. Well, you've had an incredible career. I think you are just getting started, as they say.
Mhm.
And I can't wait to watch you progress in this.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
You're
it.
on fire, dude.
Thank you.
Any final thoughts, Susan?
I just want to say thank you, of course, for being here
Of course.
and trusting us with your career. And I'm so glad to be part of that little piece of the tapestry that is the journey of our life. That's a lifelong quilt. I couldn't be more proud, and I'm really honored to be next to you in this. And just keep smiling and keep wearing those cute clothes. And someday maybe I'll get to babysit his kids.
There you go.
She's a great
Yeah.
babysitter.
And
Fantastic.
Hey, that's fine by me.
Yeah, I know.
Leave those days away.
I want you to live the legacy and
Thank
leave
you.
the legacy. And if there's anything I can do to help, I'm right here.
I appreciate that. You know, I'll always come to you if I need help.
And-
Always.
And I'll help you.
Of course.
If I can.
And final thoughts for me is, you know, you really radiate this exuberant joy. You know, we're always joking, have a good time and stuff. And you can tell a lot by a person when they're going through stressful moments, which a lot of this business is.
Right.
And you always do it with a smile and with grace and compassion and a good word for people. And you're always that person that uplifts other people if you can tell that they're down. And we need more of those kind of people in this world.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
So, yeah, man.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this episode of the Signature Studio Spotlight Series with Josh Delgadillo
Yay!
Bingo!
Ding, ding, ding!
and Miss Susan Ebert, the broker extraordinaire, and your favorite bald-headed red tie wearing show host, John Butler, the bald guy in the red tie, saying, see you in escrow.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.